We all have been investing, or I've heard of mutual funds and SIPs. Lot of us have been doing SIPs, randomly. However, I mean, you can do SIPs, to meet your goals. You can, do SIPs to build an emergency fund for yourself. You can do SIPs, in different products. I am Prashant Mahesh from Economic Times, and today we will talk of features of SIPs which many of us are not aware of. Before we take you to some of the features, which can help you meet your goals and other elements, let us start with what really is a SIP. Systematic investment plan is nothing but investing in a mutual fund scheme. It could be any scheme, be it a equity scheme, a debt scheme, or even a gold scheme, in a systematic manner. That means that you invest a pre decided amount on a fixed day every month. What happens is that this method of investing helps you build a discipline to investing. You are not really worried about where the markets are headed, whether the markets are going up, whether the markets are going down. Your investment is going towards meeting your long-term goals. You can start with amounts as low as rupees 500 per month, and you can gradually build it and increase it over a period of time. You can choose to do a SIP monthly, or even some portals now offer you to do a weekly SIP or a quarterly SIP. So you can choose even a date which is comfortable to you. Like for example, if you have your salary coming on the first of every month, you could typically choose fifth as a date when your SIP goes. Any day of the month which is convenient to you can be chosen, for your SIPs. Typically, a lot of us are now using SIPs to meet our long-term goals. Just for example, if you put even an amount like 10,000 rupees every month for a period of 10 years, so you essentially put in 12 lakh rupees in this, and assuming you earn a return of 12% in your equity mutual fund, so this 12 lakhs could grow to 23 and a half lakh rupees basically at the end of 10 years. No, that's the power of compounding, and kind of corpus you can build. So you have to work backwards basically. So if you want to buy a house worth say 50 lakh rupees, and you intend to take a loan of say about 25 lakh rupees, you can do a SIP of about 10,000 a month, which will take you, for 10 years, it will give you something like 23 and a half lakh rupees, which is very close to, the corpus you intend to put of rupees 25 lakh rupees. Similarly, you can work out different things. I mean, if your marriage is about 3 years, 4 years away, you could go in a safer fund. You could go for a mix of equity and debt, and accordingly work backwards to meet your goal. So typically, most investors believe that only SIPs can be done in equity mutual funds. So that is not true. You can do an SIP in any mutual fund. You have an equity mutual fund, you have a debt mutual fund, you have a gold mutual fund, and besides that, you have a combination of these funds. There are funds where you combine equity and debt, which are called hybrid mutual funds. Where you could have 65% in equity and 35% in debt. You could have equity savings funds where you have about 25 to 35% in equity and the balance in debt. And for example, if you are a retired person and you are looking for regular income, you could choose a combination of lesser funds which have a low component like equity savings fund, and a combination of a debt product or even a gold product, gold mutual fund to kind of help you meet your goals. And similarly, a youngster who is looking at accumulating wealth and for his retirement, which is 30 years away, you could simply do a SIP in a equity mutual fund for the next 10 years. So, I mean, based on what you really want and what your risk appetite is, basically, you could choose a mix and match of various combination of mutual funds to meet your goals. One thing we must remember is, SIP has a lot of flexibility built around the product. There is absolutely nothing like, once you have signed for a 3-year SIP, so you need to continue it for 3 full years, or there'll be a huge penalty or something like that. No, that is not the case at all. I mean, you got a pay cut, and your SIP amount is say 10,000. You want to reduce it to 5,000. You can do that also. You can just stop that SIP and immediately register under SIP. Similarly, I mean, if you got a salary hike and you want to increase your SIP, or you want to change your SIP due to a change in role, or change in condition, you can do that. So there's a lot of flexibility around SIP. I mean, you need not just worry about thinking that oh no, will I have that money to run my SIP? What if I have to stop it in between, or what if I have to withdraw money in between? You can do anything with your SIP. You can stop it, you can pause it, you can increase the amount, you can reduce the amount, do anything as per your convenience. You can withdraw money anytime you need from your SIP. Like we have seen in times of COVID, when people have even depleted their emergency funds and need money. You are always free to dip into the SIP corpus you have built. There is no rule which says that you cannot withdraw from it. While we always say that it's important to have an emergency fund, if as a last resort you really need money, you can withdraw from your SIP. The only thing is that the last 12 installments which you have contributed to the SIP will face a small exit load of 1% if it is invested in equity mutual funds. Suppose you have done a SIP for 3 years, and due to some reason you do not want to continue, or you feel that that's enough basically for now. You can just let that amount stay as it is and let it grow. You need not withdraw if there is no need. Just let it grow and enjoy the power of compounding. Many of us, make do SIPs in tax-saving mutual funds as part of Section 80C. Now, since this is for tax saving, the investment is locked in for 3 years. This essentially means that each installment that you are paying in your tax saving SIP is locked in for 3 years. For example, if you start your tax saving in April 2021 and you contribute 12 installments till March 2022, then the April 21 installment can be removed by you in May 2024. That's when you complete 3 years. The installment which you paid in May 2021 can be removed by you in June 2024, and so on. So that's how the tax saving SIP works, where each installment is locked in for 3 years, and after the end of the third year, you are free to remove your installment. So there's nothing like a best SIP or so. While I mean, as an illustration, we are showing you which are the best performing large cap funds, mid cap funds, and small cap funds. One should always keep his or her risk equation or risk tolerance in mind, and build a SIP portfolio. You could typically have one large cap equity mutual fund and one mid cap equity mutual fund for your portfolio. If you're conservative, you could go for a balanced fund, basically, or you could even go for a equity saving fund. If you feel that you want to build an asset allocation fund, you could go for one large cap fund, one debt fund, and one even gold fund. An equal allocation to build your portfolio. Keep in mind that you could build a balanced portfolio, a balanced SIP to help you meet your long-term goals.